And welcome back to Sofia by Night. This is our 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. I'd like to welcome you to episode 5, a very special Father's Day edition. Today we have two players. We have RPG Wizard. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Matt. I'll be playing Praetor this afternoon. And happy Father's Day to everybody out there, including our DM.
Thank you. And Onka Mav.
I'm Jen. I'm playing Iskra, who is a teenage, very grumpy Bruja.
Alrighty. Well, to recap, the new coterie has been missing a member of their coterie for the last few nights. Praetor has been mysteriously absent, apparently spending time with his sire. Iskra is also starting to have some sire issues as well. Her sire, Patia, hasn't been around much. They always seem to just kind of miss each other at their haven, even though they don't tend to sleep with the dead during the day. Somehow they always seem to keep missing each other. So she's been spending a lot of her nights with Claudio and also their adopted coterie mate Hildegard. Mr. Claudio, in his time, has been updating his street contacts as well as his wardrobe because he needs to be impeccably dressed no matter where they go. The coterie did manage to secure the small neighborhood in the slums of Sofia. That would be their hunting grounds. They met with Alexander and were given some more information about a place called the Thick Sheep, apparently a tavern of sorts. Alexander was a little disappointed in their lack of piety. The coterie don't seem to be very penitent types, very religious types. But he still gave them the approval of the council for completing their task. So they will be able to maintain their hunting grounds in this neighborhood. He did mention one last thing in parting about the Thick Sheep. He mentioned that that neighborhood happened to be the domain of Turval, who is Praetor's sire. And he did say, where's your Nosferatu friend been these past nights? Which, of course, the coterie has had no idea what Praetor has been up to. Upon arriving at the Thick Sheep, they found it was an upscale tavern in a better part of town. It seemed like a place for merchants and men of means. When the coterie entered, Claudio was approached by two young ladies named Veronica and Elizabeth, who, after a little bit of small talk and some negotiating, have agreed to work with him, despite the location of their new business. They seem to know the neighborhood and were of the opinion it's a shithole. Don't want to work there, but they've agreed to. They will be showing up for their new hire training, as we'll put it. As they kind of moved around the Thick Sheep, they did find an older man who seemed to fit the description that the thugs had given them. It was funny as at first when they searched the entire tavern, they couldn't find him, but upon closer examination, there was a darkened corner that they just somehow hadn't noticed, and there was an older man sitting there. He did invite them over once he noticed the coterie staring at him. He was pretty cordial with them, although he seemed to be able to resist all of Claudio's attempts to coerce him. In fact, he just seemed to casually shrug it off, which was not pleasing to Claudio. He seemed to know a great deal about the kindred, though, particularly about Alexander. Which is interesting because as far as they could tell, this man was breathing. He did not appear to be a kindred, but seemed to know a great deal about their society. When asked about the loss of the building, he basically just disregarded it. He just said it was a shithole. You can keep it. I'm not really interested in having it. His thugs are still nowhere to be found. Seemingly, the street gang has either been broken up or they've just gone elsewhere. The man departed. He did say goodnight to Claudio in perfectly accented Spanish, which they couldn't quite determine where he's from. The thugs had indicated they thought he was Greek. Couldn't really just get a real feel on him. He was a merchant of some sorts. Again, just mentioned that he was traveling through town, was on his way out, but again, just kind of shrugged off the loss of the building and really kind of congratulated with the coterie on their success with kind of a backhand compliment. Couldn't think of the right words. The last thing they did notice is that Hildegard said the man really kind of creeped her out. She almost at times thought he was looking into her head. She just really just did not like him. And Hildegard and Iskra quickly left the place, while, of course, Claudio stayed to interview his new employees a little bit closer. So, alrighty. We're going to take a step back a couple nights. We're going to look back to how Praetor has spent his last, really, it's been almost 2 weeks now. Terval's kept him very busy with going about the city and picking up various crates from different locations through the city. Always seems to have some kind of task for Terval to do, taking the carriage out to some place and picking something up, unloading things into their haven. On one interesting night, though, Praetor, you went with Terval to a place in the northwestern side of town, to a place called the Thick Sheep. Some kind of upscale tavern. He did order Praetor to stay with the carriage while he went inside. Basically, Daddy's going in and get a pack of cigarettes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, right.
So he left Praetor to his wiles to sit in the carriage. Terval came out about 10 minutes later and seemed pretty happy with whatever had gone on inside. On the current night, Terval has tasked him with inventorying the latest crates that have come in. So we continue the nightmare within your shared haven. Praetor finds himself in the lowest level, the basement, as it were, with a crowbar and opening up wooden crates, while Terval stands off to the side with chattering away about no good people carrying things and breaking things. Again, he seems very intent on the quality of the goods as also their condition. And the room he is in right now, if you'll remember, there was a room where Praetor had come out of his traveling coffin.
Right.
He doesn't tend to sleep in there at night. They've found another chamber within Terval's building.
Okay.
So now Praetor finds himself in sort of the main cargo room, where Terval has tasked him with opening crates that are before him.
Okay.
So he has continued this. Terval has now seemed to his attitude seems to be getting a little bit better than he had been on his previous nights. Apparently the goods he's acquired seem to be of much better again condition than he had previously expected.
Good. Basically, Praetor will, not necessarily make idle chit chat, but keep opening the boxes as need be. I think he's got the potence power, so I mean it's going to be easier for him perhaps than Terval. I don't know what level strength Terval is, but Praetor is very physical, so
yes.
Doing this is kind of like something to him that's just like, oh, okay, taking the lids off very easily, and it's like for him it's like Oh, a simple task. I can handle this, and he's more than happy to do it. Something he knows he can't really screw up.
Praetor,
Um,
as Turvel
yes.
says, I must go out for the evening, and you will continue your task here. There are 6 crates here that must be opened, and he hands you a parchment with a raven feather as a quill. I want you to go
Okay.
through and inventory each of these items. I have specifically noted on here that the price paid and the condition that they were when they were purchased. I want you to go through and check everything and make sure everything is in pristine condition. Do you think you can complete that for me this evening?
Of course.
Now, I will tell you one thing. And he points back to the room where the coffins were.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing
Yes.
to be opened in that room. Do not do not open anything in that room. Nothing needs to be looked at. Am I clear?
Very well. Yes, sire.
And he turns. He says, "I will return within the hour." And he
Very well.
and the he leaves behind his pet weasel. He was petting him before he left, but then he left the weasel sitting on a crate. Remember, his name is Marty,
Marty,
and
yes.
Marty sits on an empty chair and just kind of gazes over at
Okay.
Praetor, and you hear Turvel kind of stomp out of the room, stomp up some stairs, and you hear a door shut.
Okay. While Praetor is curious, he does not wish to upset his master, or sire, so he will go about his duty, occasionally stopping to perhaps scratch the weasel's head if it lets him.
Okay. It kind of hisses all over.
I expect that.
Okay.
Yeah, he has no interest. If the boss said no, he's not going to go poke his nose where he's not supposed to, unless something perhaps draws his attention there.
Well, one of the crates that's in the room was very similar in size to the one you traveled in.
Uh-oh. Of the ones I'm supposed to open, or the ones in
The
the
ones
other
you're
room?
not supposed to open.
Oh yeah, no, then he'll stay away from those.
Okay.
He has no desire to pick anybody else up right now.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the boxes that you managed to open have various religious items, some small statues, various weapons. Um, some of them you think may have come from the Holy Lands.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Turbo has gotten some pretty good antiquities.
yes. Um, Nothing that really interests you. I mean, he did give you the short sword. You see a couple against some more small swords. It seems to be more again religious items.
Okay.
They're all kind of packed carefully in these crates in hay to kind of keep everything together.
Okay.
So okay,
All right.
well,
He'll follow the orders he's been given. He's not really, he'll do the best he can. He's not,
mhm,
you know, simple task is easy for him.
okay,
As far as he's not overly like, I don't know what the right word is. He's happy to do it.
okay, alrighty,
If unless something draws his attention to that other room, like noise or something like that, he'll stay out of it. He has no interest in, disobeying his master or sire.
gotcha. Okay. Turtle returns in about an hour, just about as he'd said. Uh, he comes and he says, Praetor, I have heard some delicious news. Would you care to hear about it?
Sure.
He's like, I have heard that your coterie has been given special hunting grounds. Of course, they're not as good as mine, but you don't really quite rate yet.
No, we do not. We are young. Where has it been granted to them?
And he describes it. It is in the southeastern side of the city. And he says, "You have done such an excellent job these past evenings. You may take off early this evening and visit them if you like. I can tell you specifically where your coterie has been staying."
Ah, yes. Well, since I would appreciate that, I will go visit my new friends and see what they have been up to in the past few days.
All righty. He gives you the description of a brick building that's in this side of the town. Almost every other building there is wood, but this one seems to be much older. It's like an older church of
Okay.
sorts. So he gives you a description of what it looks like.
Okay.
Uh, okay. So you're going to take off and go there then?
Oh, oh
Okay.
yeah, he's not one to like, hey, boss says leave early, I'm out.
Okay. Okay. Um, we are going to switch then over to Iskra. Uh, you awaken for the evening, you open your
Mhm.
eyes, and Batia's sitting right next to you.
Hello.
Good evening. I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? And I start sitting up and trying to wake up a little more.
I've I've been distant, been spending my evenings away from you.
Yeah, I stretch a little bit. I kind of noticed that. Everything okay?
Everything's good. In fact, I think it's time we spend some time together.
That'd be nice.
You don't need to dress fancy for this evening. I have
Oh,
something.
thank God. I hate it. I just hate it. It's just not me, you
She
know?
she laughs. Says, "Let's go out and have some fun this evening."
What kind of fun?
Oh, I think you'll be very pleased. I think it's time to let loose a little bit, as as it were.
All right.
En-
Sounds good to me.
enough of this creeping around shit.
Yeah.
So she t- puts out her hand to help you stand up.
I take her hand and
All right,
stand up.
helps you get dressed into something loose fitting that help you move around a bit. Um, and while you're getting dressed, she says, "Where is that Ventru you've been with? The man?"
Oh, Claudio? You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, he's I don't know exactly where he is today, but we got a building to stay in.
Really?
Yeah, it's over in this it's not a great area, but the building's pretty solid and got some really good fighting in. It was kind of
Oh,
fun. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I don't know what his plans are for it exactly. I think the idea is like we're supposed to kind of be there sometimes with the other new vampires.
what are his plans for that place?
Uh, I can't be 100% certain, but he was interviewing ladies.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Well, what are your plans for the place?
I don't really know. I
Shouldn't you
mean,
shouldn't you
the
have an equal
fighting was
say?
fun.
Shouldn't you have an equal
Well,
say?
probably.
You,
Probably.
you're going to just let him tell you what you do?
Oh, he doesn't tell me what to do. He thinks he does, but he doesn't.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Uh he seems to be wanting to run a business of sorts. I don't know anything about that, you know? What am I going to do with that? I'm just from a little village, you know? I mean, you know where you found me.
Be careful of the Ventru. They're like
Yeah.
spiders. They're going to lure you further into the web until you're entangled and can't get away.
I don't think so. He already said he wanted to talk to his sire about some guy we met at some bar we got sent to.
Guy?
Yeah, he was kind of weird.
Hmm.
Not a vampire, we don't think.
And her eyes widen at that.
Yeah, I mean, he was breathing.
But he knows of us.
Uh,
How much does he know?
I don't think he knows a heck of a lot. He tried asking me questions, and we just, I mean, we we were pretending that we were Claudio's daughters, so he didn't get a lot of answers out of me at all.
Hmm. All right. Well, That's good to know. Keep me apprised of what this Ventru attempts to lure you into, because
Yeah, for sure.
you're not
Because
their
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
you're not their servant.
No, no, not at all. I'm more like their bodyguard. I mean, Claudio can't really fight.
Mm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Hildegard. Hildegard's a good fighter. She's got potential.
Perhaps we
She's
can
pretty good at that.
perhaps we can save her before she's too lost to their ways.
Yeah, I don't think she's happy there. He keeps making her wear all these fancy clothes that she can't really
Mm.
fight in. And I kind of pushed Claudio to let her get something she could wear that, would be easier. you know,
Perhaps she might be better with us.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what clan she came from, and I'm not sure if she does, but she'd make a nice bruja.
Mm. All right, we're going to skip back over to Praetor. You arrive in the neighborhood, and you find the building that was mentioned previously to you. It's a three-story brick building. At the top has a like an old bell tower. As you approach, there's no lights on inside. Doesn't seem like there's really anybody there. That you can tell the doors are all shut.
All right. Praetor, is there an obvious front door or?
Yes, yeah. Up,
Okay,
up like a set of brick stairs. So
up the stairs. Okay.
yeah.
Praetor will circle around the building, kind of
Hmm.
look at all sides, see
Hmm.
where any other obvious entrances, and look for any inobvious entrances.
Hmm.
The front door is never always the way to go into the building. So he will check around. He will kind of just go through the alleys or
Hmm.
whatever's around it, and just see if there's any other entrances to the area to that building. He will stealth.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
There is in the back. There are two windows.
mhm.
The glass is broken out of the windows. There's no
Okay.
doors because there was no fire codes in the year 1200, so no
Yeah,
need for a fire
yeah.
exit. So,
Yep.
but there are two windows that if you wanted to pull yourself up, you could probably shimmy through them.
Oh yeah, he'll do that. Yeah, because
Okay.
he's not going to go through the front door. That's too much of a trap.
Okay. All right. I am going to make a roll for you then to see how you do getting in.
Okay.
And let's see. And you have a little bit of trouble pulling yourself up the first time.
Uh-oh.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
For somebody with this much in athletics, you shouldn't have any trouble with that.
Yeah, I think his highest strength is or highest stat is strength, and athletics is at
Yeah.
least 3.
Yeah, he this time he does pull himself up. He climbs through the window, kind of slithers in. You're met with a strong scent of urine and human body odor.
Well, that's unpleasant.
Uh,
Gotta look,
you
see if anybody's here to cause that odor. He's
uh,
looking.
you see there's a pile of dirty clothes, old rotting food. But you do smell blood somewhere nearby.
Well, definitely go check that out because that's worthwhile.
Okay.
The food and the clothing, not so much. But yeah, let's
Okay.
find out where that smell of blood is coming from because I could use some of that.
So you begin to creep through. There's like the main hall of a church,
Okay.
which at the back there's a doorway that leads to the left.
Okay.
Going through the doorway, you find yourself in like an entrance with there's another doorway across from you, kind of like a T intersection,
Okay.
and then at the other end is the front doors to the building.
Okay. We'll go check out that lone door.
Okay.
Again, trying to be as stealthy as possible.
Okay. You go through there, and the smell of blood's a little bit stronger in here.
Okay. Somebody was hiding out in here.
And you smell you actually see a doorway, or excuse me, a stairway that leads up to a second floor.
Okay.
Still no
Uh,
sound from anyone.
no other animals have come by in here.
Nah,
No other human traces other than the smell of blood.
correct.
So we'll
Correct.
head up the stairs.
Okay. We're going to have you go up the stairs and we're going to switch back to Iskra and Patia. She's decided it might be fun to swing by your new building. Kind of see where the kids are staying for college.
Yeah, it's not the fanciest of places, which is okay, but the area around it's um not great.
But mom, the rent, I can afford it. So
Uh-huh.
every parent's nightmare. Um,
Right.
you find yourselves outside the building. The front doors are shut. Um,
Mhm.
you haven't been here in about a night or two. Um, so Batia kind of looks and she's like, charming. I can see why they gave the new kids the worst place in town. She's
Well, not in this town. I mean, it's a lot better than, all that junk over there and
right,
stuff falling apart over there. And
right.
yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty sturdy and it doesn't have a lot of windows. It's got two, so I mean, we could
Mhm.
sleep.
Well, she's like, I guess there's that.
It's
Let's.
something. I mean, you know.
Are you going to take me inside?
Yeah, I don't know if Claudio got it cleaned up yet or not. I think that was his plan. I don't know what he's doing, but
She's like, I can,
it's
I can,
it's a little messy.
I can smell the stench of human from here.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few of them living in there and then they kind of like well, there was a really fun battle for a while.
She's
It
like,
was great.
oh, well, if you liked that, you're going to enjoy the rest of the night. Uh,
Awesome. Can't wait.
you go up to the door, and do you open it?
Mhm.
Okay. Praetor, you are now on the second floor, and you heard the door downstairs open.
Okay. He will kind of immediately kind of duck behind. He'll after he enters. Wait, he's upstairs, right? So there's
Yeah.
a door at the
Mhm.
top of the stairs.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So once he goes, I'm assuming he stepped into that door.
hmm
Well, he'll go into that door first.
hmm
He wasn't already, and then kind of wait to kind of see, immediately bear around to his left or whatever,
hmm
just to and then kind of peek back down the stairwell to see what might be coming up.
hmm
He wants to wait and see what he sees from that. Clearly something followed him, or at least followed
Okay.
the entry into this building. But
Okay.
he's curious.
You, from your vantage point, you see Iskra and the person you recognize as her sire enter the building.
Okay. At that point, he will come out of the room
hmm
and stand at the stairwell
hmm
and perhaps startle Iskra and her sire.
Ah, all righty.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, all righty. Let's see how he does with that.
He will definitely stealth to the best of his ability to kind of. And
hmm
once he's at the top of the stairs and he sees them, then kind of ahem, ahem, hello there, catching them perhaps off guard.
Do I recognize?
You recognize him.
Okay.
Um, Batia is not real thrilled at your greeting. She flashes past Iskra and charges at Praetor and is starting to run up the stairs at him.
Uh-oh.
I will simply dodge.
Dodge? Okay.
Whoop.
Alrighty, so we're going to try to do athletics and dex here.
I will sidestep and be like, haha.
He does very well. She flashes past him.
She telegraphs her blows.
She's like she goes, you're the other one, the Nosferatu, Turvel's child, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I don't remember her name.
Her name is Patia.
Patia. I am indeed Patia.
She sniffs. She's like, There's something here.
Yes, I was investigating before you arrived. Something smelled of urine and blood, and I was seeking to find out what it was that had entered our new domicile.
I'm gonna walk up the stairs with catch up to the rest of them.
Iskra, you stay with me. Praetor,
Okay.
go upstairs and see what you find.
I was doing so.
Okay. As you open up that door, there's another set of stairs which goes up to the bell tower. You catch more of a scent of blood, of sweat,
Okay.
and some very, very, very faint breathing.
Okay. He is not afraid, so he will head up the stairs.
Okay.
Attempting to be quiet, depending on how well these stairs creak or not.
You find at the top of the stairs, in the tower, there's like a small landing right under the bell. There's a man sitting there crouched, staring at the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of his eyes are kind of half open. He's just kind of staring at it, and then let me see if he hears you. He does not seem to hear that you've approached. He seems very, very out of it, very fatigued.
Okay, well, Praetor will try to look at him closely for any wounds, or anything is he bleeding from anywhere in particular, or is he just where's the smell of blood coming from that was leading up here?
He seems to have cut himself. His hands are bloody. His fingertips are all bloody, like he was scratching at something. And you notice that on the kind of the brick top of the wall, it looks like he was scratching at something, almost like trying to pull himself up, and cut his fingers all over it. We're gonna make a rouse check for you.
Okay.
Smelling all that blood. Ooh. That blood smells really good now.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yes.
At this point, I would kind of.
He's very weak. He's very weak. Yeah. He's just kind of.
No one knows he's here, so Praetor's going to dive right in, as it were.
Okay. Are you going to drain him?
At least some.
Or you're going to try to take. Right now, you're at 2 hunger.
Yeah, I will drain some. I won't kill him necessarily.
All right.
Unless it goes crazy.
Okay.
I just want to feed enough to ease the hunger.
Okay. So you're gonna go down to 1 dot.
Okay.
He's very weak, and he does kind of manage to survive it. And he's like, "Can I leave now?"
Where did you come from?
I was told to stay here and stare at the wall.
Who told you to do this?
The girl and the man. Iskra, you hear
Praetor confused.
Yeah, Iskra, as you're standing, you kind of hear Praetor talking to someone, and you hear a really, really faint voice going, "The girl and the man."
Oh no! Forgot about that one. I go walking up the stairs. Tia, if you want to come with, we it's kind of a long story, but Claudio kind of told this guy, made him sit up here and told him for 2 days, stay, and I guess he did. So I'm gonna go talk to Praetor and see if I can tell him.
When he sees Iskra, he just kind of goes up in a fetal position, trying to get away from her.
Because clearly she is far more frightening than me.
Oh wow, he's still here. Okay.
It's like the girl.
Why is he here?
Claudio made him.
Claudio made him?
Yeah, there was a battle when we took this, and he survived. So Claudio was originally, he got him to come up here, and he was going to tell him to jump off. But then when he got up here, Claudio changed his mind and said to sit, here by the wall for 2 days. And the guy didn't move, so I went up and told him to go sit there. A
Okay.
little more forcefully than Claudio with all his fancy words. Um, and I figured in 2 days he'd get up and go.
But he's been here since what?
About
A fortnight?
about 3 days now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
With
So only a few.
with no water, has not moved.
that's longer than Claudio said, though. It's longer than I said.
Well,
Well,
you can see he was trying to pull himself up from where he
Yeah.
was sitting, and he was scratching his fingers on the on the walls.
is
So
there,
there's blood smears on the walls.
is there any reason to keep him here, Iskra?
No, no, not at all. It was just
Was he an enemy,
at
or
first,
was he
yeah.
But so he was an enemy, but no more, or since he was defeated, I'm afraid I don't understand why he was
Claudio
spared.
does something with people's
Iskra,
heads.
Iskra, the smell of
Yeah.
his blood is enticing. Your hunger has increased too.
Uh, have you already fed off of him, Praetor?
I did. He seemed unaware of what his surroundings, so I took the opportunity to sample his wares, as it were.
Patia asks, "So who was this man? He was working here, or he lived here?
Uh, I think he lived here with some others, and when we got here, one of them rushed out the door, and a
What
fight ensued, and
what were they doing here?
I don't. We later found out. I don't know if all of them were doing this, but there were two guys that were in here but didn't come out and fight us, and they said they were working for some guy down by the boats or something, and uh, we went looking for that guy at a tavern.
Oh, the one you told me about.
Yeah, that one. We ended up there,
What was
and
the name of that place again?
I think it was thick sheep or something. Fat sheep, thick sheep.
Mm.
The thick sheep.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's
I
it.
know of this place. I was there a few nights ago with my master, my sire.
Patia spins
Um,
on you. You've been to this place?
Only the outside. I was tasked to stay in the wagon while Turville went inside to conduct business.
Patia looks back at Iskra. So there's a connection then.
Seems so. We were kind of told that. We got, I guess, summoned kind of by, what was his name? Alexander's
Alexander?
people. Yeah.
And
You
she
know him. Well, you've met him at the party. We all
she
did.
kind of
Yeah, I did not
Hmm?
speak to him long.
It's not worth it. He's just. I don't like him.
kill him then.
I must agree. I mean, if he is a defeated foe, I was curious as to why he would be spared.
Unless you think he has anything else he could tell us.
My only concern would be would his death would his death be of any notice? Were he to turn up, say, somewhere?
This guy, I don't know. He didn't seem like, I don't know if he was working for the guy we met in the tavern, um, or if he was just a street thug. I don't know. I could ask him, but I'm gonna scare him to death if I do that.
You want to ask him? Want to
Yeah.
shake him up a little bit?
I am curious as to what his connection is to the thick sheep.
I don't know for sure that he has it though, but you could ask him because when you're done, I'm gonna feed.
So is somebody going to ask the guy a question, or is she going to?
Praetor will ask him,
Okay.
were you at the thick sheep? what do you know of the thick sheep?
And we were going to do insight, and let's do a manipulation.
I don't think I'm good at either of those.
No, you did all right. It was only difficulty 2 on this one.
Okay.
He says, yeah, it's where we met the guy who gave us our job.
Oh, there we go. He's part of it.
Yeah. So was his name Alexander or was his name Claudio?
No, he was the foreigner, the Eastern guy. Can I have some water, please?
Is there any water around here? I don't think there's
I
any
do not
water in
carry
the
any.
building.
Unless there was there a holy water font?
Nah, it'd be all dried up.
Okay, so, well, if you perhaps can recall, we could get you some water.
I'll try. Batia now seems more interested in this guy. A minute before, she was saying you could just kill him.
Right.
Now she seems much more interested. You see her pull back her sleeve, and she cuts her wrist, and she slams it into the guy's mouth. She says, "Drink." And he starts. He starts drinking from her wrist.
Okay.
That bothers Praetor to somewhat.
The sight of the blood
she's got a plan.
The sight
she's got a plan.
The sight of the blood is really interesting to Iskra now.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
Let's make a willpower roll to see if she can resist the sight of it. What are we going with? She manages to kind of stay in place.
Oh, I do. Okay.
She manages to stay in place. Patia says, "Rest now, friend. Let's take you from this place. This is a wretched, horrible place. And once you've gathered your strength, we can talk again later."
I could carry him down the stairs with ease. He is a lightweight.
Okay.
I've been moving.
Yeah. Okay. So you gather him up and take him downstairs. As you get down the stairs, you're kind of the first down the stairs. You hear the sound of laughter. It sounds like a couple people laughing. It sounds like it's coming from really outside.
Praetor will ignore it. He has a job to do.
Okay.
Unless he's interested in it.
Patia and Iskra, do you follow Patia down the stairs?
Yes.
She's like, "It sounds like we have company."
Probably. Opportunity there. Kind of hungry.
You hear the sound of the laughter gets a little bit closer. It sounds like several voices, and but you're not quite. You know it's coming from the street, but you're not quite sure where.
Mm-hmm.
Praetor, you've still got your recovering friend. He seems to be a little bit better, but his voice is still raspy. Like, "I need water."
Yeah,
that stuff was really good.
Find some.
Okay. Patia is going to step past Praetor to go to the door, and she's going to just open the front door a little bit, and she's going to stare outside. And she looks back at Iskra. She says, "Are you ready for some fun?"
Always.
All right. She kind of waves her forward, and she kind of looks at Praetor like, "You're welcome to join if you like."
Praetor will set the man down carefully so he does not get further injury. What do you mean?
And she kind of waves you over to the doorway. You can all see staggering down the street are about 5 young men looking very, very drunk. They're laughing and hitting each other on the back the way stupid young men do it when we're drunk. And they're kind of just staggering down the street. One of them kind of comes closer over to the building. It kind of comes staggering over. There is the big brick staircase leading up into the building, but he kind of staggers over towards the alley on the side of the house, like he's maybe going to relieve himself on the house.
No, we cannot have that. We cannot disrupt their domain. Praetor will then exit and head towards that.
Okay. Does he want to? Is he going to use anything of the blood to move unseen? Or
No, because he figures at this point, if the man's drunk enough, he might not notice.
probably not going to notice him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go with that's going to be a difficulty too. We're gonna see how he kind of slides over there. So we're gonna
And
go.
Praetor is decently stealthy enough on his own. He generally doesn't need much help.
He is quite successful. He manages to slide down the stairs. The guy he's kind of pissing everywhere. He's kind of pissing on one side of the building. He's kind of pissing on another. He's really staggering around. He does not even notice you approach the alley. So you're kind of like standing at the edge of the alley. His other four friends are moving a little bit slower down the street. They've kind of left their friend behind.
Okay, Praetor will basically grab him by the scruff of the collar and like pull him yank him away from the building.
Okay.
Tossing him like to the ground or whatever.
Okay.
As far, basically, pretty much as far as he can throw without using any supernatural strength.
He picks him up by his neck and just like throws him against the side of the building. He kind of and he passes out. Or you don't see him moving. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so he will go. That's one, and then move towards the others.
Okay, Iskra. Patia just puts a hand on your shoulder. She's like, "Your turn, my child."
All right, I'm gonna walk towards the other four drunks and just wait for them to notice me.
Okay, she's like not attempting to like hide herself at all, right? She's
no, I look very innocent, don't I?
and they're like, hey, one of them kind of sees you. He's kind of, hey, where'd you come from? We go home, kid. We don't. And another one's like, no, she can stay. We're gonna have a party at our place.
No, she's talking.
Oh, really?
Come on. You know, whatever they'd say in the 1200s, like, you know, hey, come on, baby. You know,
whatever that would have been.
Exactly.
I can't imagine what that would have been.
Come hither, young lady. You know. But yeah, they're all kind of just like staggering around. One is giving her very lecherous looks.
I'm gonna talk to that one.
Okay.
It'll be fun to kill.
Praetor is now sneaking up from behind, I take it.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely taking the stealthy route, even if it's a little going around the long way. You definitely want to come up behind them as best as he can, simply to allow him the element of surprise against them.
Praetor.
And if they're all distracted by Iskra, then that's even better.
Praetor is the knight. They do not, even as drunk as they are, they still do not see or hear him coming from behind. The lecherous one reaches out a hand towards Iskra. Hey, come here. I want to talk to you.
Why don't we separate from your buddies here and go talk over there in that dark area?
Okay. He's like, okay. And his friends kind of laugh and they're like, oh, old, whatever his name is, Peter, we'll call him. So he starts to stagger off with Iskra.
Yep.
She kind of glances back as they're turning, she kind of glances back at the building. And Patia's just kind of standing in the doorway watching.
She's judging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being judged. That's fine.
Praetor, you now have 3 guys with their backs to you.
Oh, excellent. He'll grab the middle. Actually, no. He will kind of try to, I don't know if he can get away with this if they're close enough, but basically try to spread his arms out, grab the 2 on the end, and then clunk their heads together against the guy in the middle.
Three Stooges style, right?
Three Stooges style, exactly.
All right. Okay. He lashes out with both hands, grabs them both by the collar, and just pulls them. And just slams their heads together with a sickening crunch, and they both fall to the ground. The last one turns around like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
Uh,
Excellent.
you
With
you
that, he'll draw his sword,
mhm.
and perhaps you should find another place to urinate upon.
Oh,
And it would
no.
be wise to stay away from this area, lest you lose more than your life.
Are you showing him your true face?
No, just my
No,
sword.
just the sword. Okay, okay,
Yeah, just I'll pull the sword out
okay.
and brandish it in a threatening
Gotcha,
manner.
gotcha.
Um,
Okay,
whereas the other two obviously are unconscious; they
yeah,
can't do anything.
yeah. I'm not even going to
Stay
make a
away
roll.
from this building.
He
Tell your friends.
he shrieks like a little girl and just takes off running. He just doesn't care about his friends. Um,
Well, good.
at, at his
Meanwhile, the two of them.
yeah, at his scream, the guy who was following Iskra turns around and goes, "What's going on?"
Don't worry about them.
And then he catches sight of Praetor. Wait, what's going on here?
This isn't gonna work. I'm gonna grab him and try
Okay,
to like bite his neck and
okay,
move.
all righty. And you get an extra die for grappling
Okay.
as a specialty of yours.
Yep.
And how do you want to grab him? Like by the neck?
Yeah.
You got three successes. So
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him by the neck and then
mhm.
sink my fangs into his neck and drain him
Okay.
because I'm hungry and I'm also angry right now. It just didn't work. It could have been easier,
Are
you know.
you are you going to? You have two dots of hunger. Do you want to just take the one and leave him alive, or are you going to finish him?
I'm gonna finish him.
Okay. So you drain him. The beast within you screams in pleasure that it's sated, that you've finally done what it wanted. And as you just kind of drop his lifeless corpse to the ground, um, he's done. The one guy has sprinted away. The two guys at Praetor's feet aren't moving, but they don't seem to be maybe dead yet.
Okay. I'm gonna take the back of my hand and wipe the blood off my mouth and flick it
Hmm.
onto the ground.
Okay. Okay, so you now have three bodies laying in the street. There isn't really a city guard in this part of the city because most people don't care. Uh, but you do hear dogs start to bark from other houses.
Okay, they're on to us. Uh, I'm gonna look out the alleyway. Can I see Praetor or
Yeah.
okay?
He's still on the street
Are
with
those two dead?
If not, they will be.
what would you?
Right. There's a graveyard, a pauper's graveyard not far from here. We've
Oh,
used it before. I might need
then
help
let us.
lifting this guy though.
Oh, I can. These are. This will not be a problem. I will
Okay.
show me, and I will. I will take them as. Uh, we'll travel as swiftly as we can to go there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna make a roll for you, Matt. It shouldn't be a problem for Praetor to
if
drag.
need be, he would use his potence abilities to
That's
increase
what I
his
was gonna
speed.
say. I was gonna suggest is if you
Yeah,
want to use your potence to do that. So I'm not gonna make you roll, but we are gonna do a
yeah. No,
rep.
he'll definitely use a little bit there to get it going, and oh, three dead bodies? No problem.
I'm gonna make a rouse
Uh,
check for you. Okay, you
okay,
passed, so you don't get any more hungry. So, okay,
okay.
so yeah, she shows you this poor, pathetic graveyard that's overrun with weeds. That apparently they've deposited bodies here before.
From the first battle. I'm assuming Patia follows or
No, Patia just stood in the
just
doorway
stand
and
there?
she just stood and watched you.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, okay, so
This is
these
your mess,
graves
not
are
hers.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I'm not yeah, I just figured I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we
Oh,
learned before was there's like very, very shallow graves, and if you go closer to that building over there, we can get enough room to just drop them all in.
It's a very crowded graveyard.
mm,
It's basically been forgotten. So
that
there's very
that's the only
few.
way it comes to.
Yeah, the ground isn't completely frozen, but if you wanted to dig, it's going to take you a little while.
Praetor's strong.
Okay.
He wouldn't be. Grave digging was what he did in another life.
Gotcha. All right.
So,
So
yeah,
if
for
you,
him, that's like, nope, no problem. I'll
right.
take care of this.
all right, I'm gonna have you both use your potence
Okay.
Yeah,
to
he strangely is like, why does this feel so comfortable to me? I don't understand. I didn't do this in another life, but it feels strangely normal.
Patia is gonna use her potence to help her with the speed of digging. Now, right now,
Okay.
you're using your hands.
Hmm.
The bad rolls continue for Iskra. You kind of just dig at a normal pace. Let's see how your friend does here though with his his potence here. It shouldn't be this hard, Iskra. Oh man. Praetor is just heaving bits of earth and ground, and his hands are flashing as he's just like digging, pulling out.
He is the brute squad.
Yeah.
All right, at
Um,
this point, I'm just going to get out of his way,
yeah,
and I'm
basic.
going to blame it on draining a very drunk person. And
Basic.
so my skills are not where they were a
But
minute
yeah,
ago.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're a little tipsy from it.
Hmm.
He when he gets down to digging, he finds there's already some bodies in there.
Friends
They
of yours?
I go look. Do I recognize them?
they are the same guys you and Claudio buried earlier.
Yeah, that's the ones Claudio and I buried well, when we took the building, basically. Maybe scoot over that way a little more. And see
Sure. No problem. Dig.
One of the men stirs. My
he's
head.
not dead yet.
Not
I'll
dead
do
yet.
that
Okay,
work.
well, we should probably fix that.
Okay. How would you like to fix that?
Praetor will just stab him.
Stab
No,
him.
he's going down. Yeah, he'll take his sword and like I guess, get him in the heart or something, his chest.
Yeah.
He's
Heart.
not. Oh, wait, how bad is his hunger right now? Is it still a 1?
He's still a one. Yeah.
Okay, then no, did I see Iskra drain the 1?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, then I will satisfy my beasts
Okay.
as well and take care of him,
All right.
and making sure that perhaps catching him as he's still groggy and
Okay.
unaware.
All right. You drain him dry. You feel his last thoughts were, and I never got to see that girl.
Whoops.
Okay. So now, as far as you know, well, you know he's dead. So you know you have 2 dead. Then there was the other head case. He still has a pulse.
What do we do with him?
I don't
Patia
know.
Patia appears at your side. You didn't see her approach.
Oh,
Do you
hi.
need would you perhaps need a refreshment?
She sneers. Says, "What are you going to do about it? You have to clean this mess up." Be strong, Iskra. Do what must be done.
Okay. I don't think I can drain a second one, right?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna try to break his neck.
Okay. That should not be very tough for her. We're going to add her potence, and she's going to try to snap his neck here. Pop. And he goes
Problem
limp.
solved.
He goes limp.
I just drop him.
All right. So you guys going to throw them in the hole and cover them up?
Yeah, it
Seems
seems
the
like
thing to do.
yeah. I mean, it's been done before, so
By
hopefully
us.
we don't need to use this too often. Yeah, like you guys.
You
Hopefully we do not need to use this place on a regular basis.
you may soon be running out of space there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Well,
always
let's hope.
flames.
Yeah. Or do we have a source of? Wait, we don't have a. We're inland, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking like, well, let's go down to the dock. No, we don't have a
Yeah.
dock.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. There is no dock.
Okay. The ocean would be a nice place, but unfortunately, we don't have one here. So, all right, we will definitely need to not use this place again anytime soon. We should look for other places that may be useful. like perhaps our own building may have a basement we can use, or perhaps even excavate for further
Oh, we
use.
never actually got as far as looking in the basement,
Nope.
or if there is one.
Perhaps
Nope. You never looked.
there isn't one, or we never looked.
You never looked.
Oh,
Yeah.
then definitely we need to return to our new home and examine it in depth. We may have other places, other useful locations within it that perhaps we can, well, not use this place for that matter.
It'd be easier, we're gonna run out
Yeah,
of space real quick,
So,
obviously.
so basically, you're gonna
yeah,
start treating your place like Gacy's house, burying
right.
corpses in the floor.
In the basement.
Wonderful,
Well,
charming.
it depends. I mean, some of them might be worthwhile. Some might be just worth leaving on the side of the road, depending on the type of wounds we leave on them.
Might have to have a
So we'll see what happens.
might have to have a humanity roll on these kinds of things pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So Patia follows you guys back to your new home. Um, and when she steps in, she really need to do something about the smell in here.
Yeah, I thought Claudio was gonna bring somebody to clean it up, but I guess he hasn't arranged that yet.
The guy from upstairs is still
Mhm.
he's actually still on the second floor. I don't think you dragged him all the way down to the first floor, but you can certainly bring him down to the first floor if you like.
Yeah, definitely. I want to put him out. Basically, as far as Praetor is concerned, he can leave. I mean, he has no interest to me other than perhaps whatever he's connected to with the thick sheep.
Oh, Patia wants to keep him.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, but where?
She pulls him close. She's like, "Oh, I'll find room for him, won't we? Won't we, Iskra?"
Okay.
Okay. So she is going to take him home to your abode, and I believe this is probably a good place to wrap up for today. I want to thank my players again for another great session. You guys are really becoming monsters. I love it. And thank everyone for listening. Have a great day, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay. Bye.